Halftime.
We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order, please. I do apologize, we don't have seats for everyone. But this is great. Having all these folks here, it's wonderful. Very important, the sign-up sheet was out right on that table outside the door. You need to make sure that every person signs that, if you will. And if the front gets full, just start filling it out on the back, okay? So please do that for us, if you will, everyone that's here. Okay, so, let's see, next up is the prayer. Oh, there's she. Oh, there's she. Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
It's the feedback.
Other teams. Was picking up this.
Oh, she's in it. Okay. DJ, you want to open us in prayer?
Sure, I'd love to. Thank you. If you would, folks, close your eyes, bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, what a wonderful day it is. We can just gather here as we focus on the education here in Hardy County, and be with those that couldn't make it today for whatever reason. But as we look around, we see all these students, we see all these adults. As we collaborate together, and we always remember to have you at the center hub of all things. No matter what decisions are brought up here tonight, whatever is discussed, that we always remember we serve a good Father. Dear Lord, we want to thank you for this wonderful weather we finally got. Some of the snow is melting. It's muddy, it's muggy, but it's a lot better than -4 degrees, and we'll take it any day, dear Lord. So, God, just thank you for loving us, and in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now, we can get this right. We're going to be doing really good. How about if we start introductions with you, and if we'll go around this way and all that way, and then we'll start around. How's that? We'll do a couple loop-de-loops.
Okay, can you start? Hi, I'm Kate Combs. I'm here because I'm the Northfield High School State Chapter President. And I'm Madeline Hedman. I'm the Vice President of Competitive Events Executive. I'm also here to represent Bergman. And hi, I'm Sydney Lancaster. I'm the Vice President of PR and Marketing for the Northfield High School Baptist Chapter.
I'm Amy Franks. I'm the advisor for the Northfield High School Baptist Chapter and the teacher.
I'm Holly Lindale, and I am the growth and facilitator at Northfield High School.
I'm Emily Evans. I'm here to be greater.
Lacey Kestner, East Harding High School, MFA and IT.
Jimmy Jack, Northfield Elementary Class.
Good evening, Mary Catherine Slack, FCCLA Chapter Advisor for Moorfield High School and Moorfield High School's Family and Consumer Science teacher.
Morgan Malin, Vice President of Treasury for FCCLA. I'm Brooklyn Seville, and I'm Vice President of Community Service. I'm Marcy Beamier, I'm First Vice President. I'm Annie Barr, and I'm the President of our FCCLA chapter at Moorfield High School. Samantha Dimmons.
Susan Silva.
Dallas Wilkins.
John Rosado.
Beth Thorne.
Jessica Markwood.
Daniel Taylor.
Ed Cole.
Alex Smith, WB Extension Agent, Hardy County.
Lucas Ray, student teacher agriculture, East Hardy.
I'm Jocelyn Sherman, the East Hardy FFA president for this year.
Trevor Baldwin, also awarded at Moorfield High School.
Moorfield High School FFA president, Drake Kimball.
Ron Jackson, Moorfield High School Senate.
Riley Real, reporter for Moorfield High School.
Sarah Mathis.
Sarah Earl.
Roy Harper.
Janet Rose.
Sean Collars.
Warren Staggers.
Melvin Shook.
Dixie V.
Doug Hunt.
Jennifer Strong.
And on TV, did she say her name?
Yeah.
All right, it's like here, Sheena. Okay, thank you all so much. We'll start our presentations now. Our first one will be the CTE student recognition, Jessica Markwood.
So thank you all for coming tonight. It's a packed house. As you can see, CTE is doing great things, and February is CTE month. So we wanted to take a moment to let you see all the wonderful things that the kids are doing. Each of them will give a quick presentation of some highlights of programs that are happening. I'm sure several of you have seen several of the press releases that have gone out over the past couple of weeks. We want to thank Moorfield Examiner for covering a lot of that. And the first individual that we would like to award tonight is Jesus. He is the first student at Moorfield High School and Hardy County to ever receive a perfect score on the Microsoft Office Specialist. It was in Word, correct? Yeah, so a perfect score, that's about 1,000-point test that they have to take to earn their industry level certification. And because of that, he received state certification and recognition directly from Microsoft. So we would like to present him. Transitioning is DECA next with Miss Amy Kreitz, and then we'll go around the room.
Okay, I'm just gonna hit a couple highlights for business programs. The business enterprise program has 5 students we're gonna be completing this year, but I have 15 freshmen that are now enrolled in that program, so that makes it completely sustainable. Entrepreneurship, Sid Lancaster's here. If you guys have seen any sports photos, she's got Sid's pics. She's really taking off that entrepreneurship program. She's got over 1,200 social media followers. She has posted 170 galleries. She's had 7,600 engagements on social media with what she's doing, and her future plans are to do sports marketing and management. So that's going to be a great transition from the entrepreneurship program and the foundation she's building. Work-based learning in the fall of this year, we had 57 participants, and we've logged over 8,300 hours. So that program's well in play. Kate and Maddie are going to go over some highlights for DECA.
So the last trip we went on was, we call it Power Trip. It's in Washington, D.C. And basically, it was our officer team. And we went to a ton of different workshops and learned a ton of different things, which we then used for our retreat at the end.
Yeah, our retreat was in December. We held around 40 students. And everybody could come, anyone could come to school and see what DECA was all about. And it really engaged the members to join.
And it's kind of us bragging, but we just recertified gold for our SBE, school-based enterprise, and I think this is the 7th year that we've recertified.
And then we attend CDC on March 7th and 9th, and we had around 26 students completing, which is almost something last year. So we really increased the numbers.
Do you have questions for us about business or DECA?
So we wanted to thank you guys first for having us out here and giving us the opportunity to speak to you tonight. It really is an honor. We wanted to let you know some different things that our FFA program is going to be doing for this year. We have 10 state degree candidates. Wouldn't say recipients yet. We still have one more stage to go through, but we have 10 candidates for state FFA degrees this year. We also have 9 American degree recipients, which is a very prestigious award, the highest honor you can get in the FFA organization. We are also about to host our South Branch Valley Ham, Bacon, Egg Show, where we will sell a couple hundred products, where the students will raise their livestock animals, pigs, and they will sell the products after processing and going through the entire stage of curing, smoking, and distributing their products.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Jocelyn Sherman. Like I said before, I'm the East Hardy FFA president for this year. And I would like to share that we have 4 FFA members currently working towards their state FFA degree. Like Drake said, it is the highest degree a member can earn at the state level. And we also have 1 member working towards their American FFA degree, which is earned at your national level. That is the highest degree a member can ever hold nationally. And alongside members are preparing for the South Branch Valley Ham, Bacon, and Egg Show, like Drake also said, which will be hosted here at Moorfield. And it's about in 4 weeks. And this is my 3rd year raising my market hold for my SAE project. SAE is a supervised agricultural experience. And It just takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication, and hard work to make this essay possible. In addition to above important highlights of our chapter, I am so excited to share our plans about National FFA Week, which is February 21st through the 28th. We have a very busy week planned for our school, including dress-up days, a visit from the West Virginia Department of Agriculture, workshops led by West Virginia FFA state officers. We have 4 of them coming. FFA emblem scavenger hunt, teacher breakfast, a community service project, and a daily ag fact will be shared. The chapter officer team and the West Virginia FFA state officer team are planning a school-wide assembly for next Friday. The last activity we have planned is attending the Freedom Ag and Energy FFA Jacket campaign on Saturday, February 28th. In preparation, we have tried to share the importance of agriculture and how everyone can be involved. Thank you so much for this opportunity for me to share tonight, and I'm so excited for FFA Week, and I hope you are too.
What time is the assembly on Friday, and are we allowed to come?
Yeah, totally. You can just let Miss Rudy know whenever you walk in, and it's going to be 1:30 to 3. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the date of the hand-baked egg sale?
It will be March 14th. Yeah.
13th. March 13th.
March 13th?
Yeah.
Okay.
5:30.
Okay.
5:30.
Meeting will start at 4 o'clock.
For those of you that are here that haven't attended one before, I strongly recommend it if you can be there. It's a great opportunity to see the kids and their projects and everything that they've been working hard for all year. They also have the bidding that happens as well. So if you'd like to support them on more than one level, we strongly encourage you and welcome you to attend.
And the meal beforehand is always delicious.
Yes, and the meal is delicious. It is.
I mean, it really is.
Okay, so we're gonna reintroduce ourselves. I am Amy Brown, the president. I'm Lexi Van Meter, I'm first vice president. I'm Wilkin Seville, vice president of community service. I'm Morgan Malone, vice president of treasury. And as the president for the Warfield FCCLA's leadership team, thank you for your support of Family and Consumer Sciences curriculum and our Family Career and Community Leaders of America's chapter. Our students are career and technical education connected with FCCLA. Our varied passions in FCS and FCCLA put us on course for college and career success as we navigate our future. All students in the 2 FCS course majors participate in FCCLA chapter projects. This year, our 117 members co-sponsored the Heritage Weekend Tea, prepared and served many catered events, and provided service at the local veterans organizations, and led our school's program for mental health wellness. These projects and activities are essential to our students' total learning experience. And during the week of February 8th through the 14th, we proudly celebrated National FCCLA Week. We conducted our National Community Service Program, Mental Health Wellness, and during this week, we met with the MHS students during their lunch periods with informational and interactive sessions regarding mental health wellness. We posted positive affirmations on each student's locker, reminding them that they matter, and in the hallways and classrooms, students found messages regarding mental health wellness. In our FCS classes, we participated in week-long national program of work activities. In addition to learning more about the elements of mental health wellness and available services, our students have a better understanding of FCCLA's leadership and service for our school. Your support of our FCS and FCCLA programs at Morford High School ensures that our students are provided with various opportunities to develop leadership and community skills. We need these skills to succeed in the workplace and at home. FCCLA builds leaders for healthy families, successful careers, and strong communities. Our members are active in community service, recognition, scholarship opportunities, travel, and expanded learning. Members of our school's FCCLA chapter have served as state officers, won numerous awards, and attended state and national meetings for the past 18 years. I personally value the opportunities I have gained through FCCLA, and my most memorable was attending the national convention or the national competitive events and winning gold for our service project chapter portfolio. Thank you again for your continued support of our programs and future success. Thank you.
And is the cafe we're doing this Wednesday out here?
Yes.
Awesome. And your hours of operation this week, if anybody wants to stop in and support?
8:30 to 12:30. It has to do with student scheduling. I'm pretty positive it's 8:30 to 12:30, but it'll be on the Launchpad Facebook site. And it will be our pepperoni rolls, our bakery cookies, East Hardy's cake pops, and our handcrafted hot beverages, possibly cold. I'm gonna go buy some bags of ice. So at least our hot handcrafted beverages and cold.
Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
And Annie again, along with Maddie and Sindel, our Great Learning Program.
My name is Holly Lindale, and I'm the GYO facilitator at Orford High School. And we always like to joke that GYO does not mean grow your own vegetables or fruit for Mr. Dent or honey hogs or pigs. It is actually grow your own educators for those of you who don't know. I'm actually going to let some of my ladies tell you a little bit about the program. She has a little handout for you just with some information. We thought that was necessary because I know SCCLA, DECA, FFA has been around a little bit, but GYO is kind of new. So this gives you like a little snapshot that way if anybody asks questions. But we actually started GYO Morpho High School in the fall of 2022 with only 2 students, and we have grown to 13. And honestly, for such a small rural school, that is amazing. So we're going to, bring it to bigger numbers, but right now we have 13 students. But I'm going to let these 2 ladies, so they actually represent GYO as well. And I'm going to let them take over.
So Morpho High School is proud to partner with Keystone Technical and Community College to offer Greater Teacher Education Program, a fast-track pathway that allows students to begin careers in education while still in high school through dual enrollment coursework and an accelerated hands-on experience. Students may enroll in up to 4 dual credit courses, earning college credit while gaining extensive classroom observation and field experience. The program prepares students for post-secondary education while guiding their work as classroom helpers.
So any GYO student that is enrolled in the teaching pathway through the Level Up program courses are free. At Eastern, Level Up usually means a program that lets high school students take a free college class tied to a career pathway that they can start earning credits early. We serve about 6 hours, approximately 108 hours per semester as classroom helpers at Morpho Elementary School, Morpho Intermediate School, or Morpho Middle School, depending on the area of focus. We participate in an hour-and-a-half instruction per week with the GYO instructor, Brad Simmons, including lectures, coursework, and activities aligned with their dual credit classes.
The GYO program is ideal for students interested in becoming a teacher or teacher's aide, working in in the education system, careers involving children or adolescents. We have 13 students enrolled, like Ms. Lindell said, 2 seniors, 8 juniors, and 3 sophomores. And all the students are listed on the back with their current area of interest.
I just want to point out, our kids have an amazing opportunity for Hardy County compared to some of the other counties that have GYO. We're very blessed to have the elementary school right across the street. Some of these classes only require a minimum of 15 hours of observation, and all of our kids are getting 108 hours per semester. And you can't replace hands-on instruction. I mean, they have an amazing, amazing opportunity. I've kept in contact with our kids that have already graduated and have went on to Fairmont, WVU for the education program. And I will brag on them. They're miles above some of the other ones with all the hands-on experience that we have offered. We're very blessed to have Mr. Simmons and the instruction he gives with all of his background. So thank you all for that. But I want to encourage you that anytime, I know you have scheduled visits to our schools, but all of these programs do a phenomenal job in action. And I know we can come and present, but seriously, just please stop in. These kids go to Morford Elementary School and they're there. Some of you might have seen them, but you should see them in action. Like, we can stand up here and we can say lots of things, but seeing them in action really kind of sums up what we all do. So I think it's important if you could stop in and just check out what they do. So thank you all very much.
I also know that feedback from the elementary school teachers. These kids are not just there; they're helpful, they're appreciated, so it's good for everybody.
I also want to point
It's a
out
win-win.
Miss Brooklyn and she is, and Lexi are in our service learning program, which is pretty much the same thing as GYO, except they don't receive dual credit for it. It's just an elective. So both of these ladies are actually also enrolled in that. So they have some amazing students.
And I want to add on, for the current area of interest, it's there to show that everybody in Greater Orange isn't just going to show to be a teacher. If you would ask me 3 years ago, I probably wouldn't have taken the program, and it really changed my perspective on children and education for the better. And it really just opens up a new perspective for everybody, even no matter the career path.
How many of you want to be a principal someday to another?
You're asking that too soon. Too soon, too soon. Hold on, keep doing, girls.
Thank you. And for a wrap up, we absolutely have wonderful students that are doing wonderful things and wonderful programs, and it's without a doubt that not only are they fabulous, but the instructors that we have on hand go above and beyond and make a lot of these opportunities possible for them. As you know, back in September, we were awarded in Hardy County 2 of 5 prestigious clinical awards, one of them being 100% certified teacher base because they're all certified, and because of the content knowledge that they've fused with real-world learning through their work-based opportunity. We were recognized as a top 5 category in that as well. So if you guys don't mind giving everybody a round of applause for our students. You guys have any final questions for us before we?
I'm sure we want photos.
Okay.
So if you could take the groups out into the hallway, find a nice place, and let's get the instructors with them. A lot of times it's just the student, but you all have countless hours with these students, so let's get you all in the photo also. Thank you all.
Start the live.
Thank you so much.
Like this way.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us. Yes, sir. Thank you for having us this evening.
I built a big fire.
I'm ready.
It is refreshing to do something. Thanks again.
Yep, thank you.
Well, let's go ahead. It's always great to have all those folks. Next up is West Virginia Extension Office. Alexandria.
Just me, or would you want me here? Does this work, or you want me up front?
Yeah, get back
Sure,
over
that'd
there.
be good.
We've got some calendars. We have some more at the office that can print out. And then I also have.
You want my calendar?
I have some.
I have mine too.
You have one?
Need one?
Thank you.
Here is our budget paper. All right, that was a hard act to follow. Those students are tremendous. Everybody got one of something, one of everything?
Yeah.
Two things.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'll make this short and sweet. I'm honored to see a lot of the kids that were here just a minute ago are also some of our 4-H students, and that is also, there's always such a warm, fuzzy feeling knowing that they're out doing great things in every aspect, in every project that they're in. Lizzie was unable to make it today because she has caught the crud that's going around, so this report here is hers. Some highlights from it, well, I should say, let me back up. Thank you all for your continued support. We're happy to be here and happy to be able to present what we have done to you and hope for some continued support. Back to Lizzie's report. She did a good graphic. You can go through it. Basically, some of the highlights are our product numbers are up. So we're back to like pre-COVID numbers, which is awesome. We have a 63% project completion rate, which is one of the higher numbers around the state. So the kids can take projects every year. Some of the kids come in and get really excited and take like 10, and that's too many. We try to gear them back, and then they don't always complete them all. So we try to follow them through and make sure they get them all done. Most of those projects are livestock projects, which we have the highest number of livestock exhibits at the fair, Hardin County does. She had the good camp numbers this year. We had our two older younger camp. And then on the back, she just has some other highlights that she did. And I'd be happy to try to attempt to answer any questions on the growth program. If you have any, if I can't answer them, I'm happy to find those answers for you. Pass them on to her. She's much better at making things pretty than I am. All right, so as far as on the ag side of things, I don't always get to do as much youth involvement as Lizzie does, but I am, like I said, always excited to partner and do a lot of partnering with FFA and the schools with anything that we can be involved in. My summary is also a bunch of highlights. I'm not going to go over everything. A lot of the continued programs that we're continuing to do is the AI preparedness, emergency management kind of preparedness. I just recently went through a training to get ready for foreign animal disease outbreak if we ever have one, and like trying to figure out what Extension's role in that would be, and just several other USDA-based emergency programs with animals. Did multiple national presentations this year. Teaching highlights for youth agriculture. We had judging teams in horse, beef, poultry, and horse, beef, and then beef expo. We were able to go to nationals this year with the poultry judging. We won statewide with Goldie Briley, that was here in FFA. She was one of our national poultry judges as well. We went to Kentucky with tremendous support from the community to get the kids down there with zero cost to them. It was awesome. They got about upper middle at nationals, which we were tickled to death to get. We felt very honored to do that far. And we had a great time. We got to do a lot of other things while they were down there, including going to some museums, the Derby Museum, Blue Slugger, and we had little parties and all kinds of stuff. It was a lot of fun. Our horse judging team was also, we didn't have a full team. We had a couple of individuals place very highly statewide. They're all juniors. So when they move up to get a little bit older and in the senior category, hopefully we'll head back to nationals with them as well. Our fair, we had, like you saw in Lizzie's report, 109 completed projects. There's 259 animals sold at the fair with a total of over 600,000. So that is tremendous support to our kids from our community. And those projects teach them so much more than just getting that check. They raise those animals from weaning sometimes all the way into the sale. And it is a great way for them to learn a lot of life skills. We have Youth Day with Poultry Association, where we do the poultry judging, we do the barbecue shooting competition. Each year that I've been here, besides like the COVID years, we have steadily increased some, we've changed it around some. This year we have spin and do it over at the high school, which I think worked out really well. And we appreciate being able to have a program there to keep those students getting their roof fixed. But we were lucky to be able to just move over like that. We appreciate it. Other things that I do in the county that aren't as youth-based is we have the Special Forces Livestock Training Program in Gordonsville, where we teach the top Special Forces medics come to Gordonsville to learn large animal handling, because a lot of times when they're sent overseas, a really easy communication pathway for them to locals is through their livestock and teaching them how, if they need a doctor, and these medics have a whole bag of antibiotics and different things, and they can doctor these guys' animals. They can maybe teach them some safety, some animal handling. We teach them how to cast a cow with just a rope and things that they may be able to take all along with them and help them as they're over there. And we've actually gotten stories back where they'll give you chills on how just this one, just keep it short, but this one example was our, he helped baby falconry if he was somewhere in Afghanistan. And they fight the falcon. And the guy was able to handle the falcon, treated its wings, hurt, and he says that nowhere they went the whole time they were down there that they didn't get fired on. And he says it's because of that village and helping, save that bird. So I don't know if that's, valid or whatever, whatever. It's awesome, and it's always a really fun program. I'm going to bore you to death. Another thing that we're doing a lot that we continue to work on is the farmer stress and mental health. We have presented nationally. I have interviewed countless individuals locally and statewide, everybody from teachers to veterinarians to just full-time farmers, to find out what people are doing as coping mechanisms and how they're handling stress. Because one thing that we see is when we go to these stress management programs, they're always, well, you just need to do less. You need to do, don't take on so much. And the farmer, that's not a thing. Like, they're not going to do less. They have that's their livelihood, that's their everything. So we're trying at WVU to kind of look at that and see how can we get to the root of it to help them manage the stress. Because telling them to go take a date night is not going to fix it. So we learned different coping mechanisms that range from everything from good healthy coping mechanisms to not so healthy coping mechanisms, and just listen to stories and worked on kind of compiling all that. And what we feel, and this is what our next step will be in presenting this year, is getting to the root of things like financial management strategies, emergency preparedness, things that, so if something happens or you get overwhelmed, you have those plans in action. So you know where to go, where to find, and what to do. So maybe you won't get so overwhelmed and stressed. I don't know what the answer is. I hope this helps them. So that's where we're at with that. We have a bale grazing project. We have a wool project, a USDA grant. That our wool market currently is completely worthless because of tariffs and other things. So we got a lot of head nods. So we're trying to find something else to do with West Virginia wool. Pelletizing it is one thing. Insulation is something. A lot of pelletizing for the garden. It has a low amount of nitrogen and then has an amazing water capacity. So if you pelletize it and put it in the garden, it helps keep your soil moist and then delivers all your nutrients. I actually used this the last 2 years when I planted like a couple like pretty flowering bushes because we had all this wool and I was just shoving because we had the drought and everything, and they lived like it did. I swear it made a big difference putting the wool down in that root ball with everything. So we're trying to figure that out, figure out what we can do to get our West Virginia wool farmers a little bit of money back in their pocket. And then the last thing that is new is and Lizzie worked on this project with me. It's a statewide project. We're reviewing anybody that's been in 4-H and has seen these 4-H books. They're probably the same 4-H books that you had. We're redoing them. So we're looking at more of a proficiency-based curriculum where the kids the project will run with the child. Instead of like right now you have a 9-year-old starts at level 1, but you may have a 16-year-old this is their first year and they may also start at level 1. The 16-year-old may have been an FFA, so it's the skills and the levels aren't matching up. So we're trying to come up with a new way to get these kids more knowledge and I want to say almost kind of parallel to FFA where they have something at the end of it. So maybe what we're really, really hoping is that we can get some credentialing for their project, maybe some college credits or something when they finish the project. Maybe they do a life-size project, but at the end they show like an FFA how they managed it, how they made money, lost money, whatever it might be, so that they can continue on with it and maybe get some college credit or something along those lines. So we spent last couple of months reviewing every project in the United States that we could get a hold of, and all the states do it differently. It is completely wild how different they all are. So hopefully in the future, you guys will be seeing that coming, and there'll be more comprehensive books for the kids. And then last but not least, the pictures. I always like to throw in some pictures. We have the 2 pictures on the top are the kids from nationals. We have the nice picture of them with their chicken socks that we always get them, and then them when they're completely wiped out, laying on the couches. We did a tractor driving class at camp, tractor safety. The kids really enjoyed that. I was honored to be a West Virginia Woman in Agriculture this year. And then I always help out in the ham and bacon in the meat house with FFA. So that's everything in a really small nutshell. It's hard to condense a whole year and next year into a little talk. But our budget request is the same. We're requesting a raise for our county budget for our secretaries, but everything else is going to stay the same. And like I said, again, we very much appreciate your support. Any questions?
Yeah, what's the bale grazing project?
So
We're collaborating with the University of Kentucky.
Yes. So we have a site at Von Craman's where it's you put out the bait. The whole research project is we're studying how bale grazing can increase and maybe help out the soil nutrients. So what you do is he has a field up on top of the mountains that's really hard to get lime to, really hard to get fertilizer to. It's just straight up there. He does have a water source. What you do is you lay out all your bales before you start grazing. So you set them out, a certain amount of tons per acre of forage, the dry matter, and then you fence it off and you let the cattle at it as they finish it. So you're essentially instead of putting a bale in the same spot every time and all your nutrients being concentrated right there, you're moving it down through your field. And so you use the temporary electronet or something, or a polywire or something that you just move whenever you let them back into the bale. To the next bales. Round bales, yep. And it has its place. It's not for everybody, but I've seen a lot of success on some farms in some areas, like Stefan on the field that he uses it on out in Dorgan, that very top field. It was great. The soil test results that we got back increased tremendously just from the 3 years that we started it. So we're doing some more.
Does he enroll them or is he just?
He enrolls them down. That's what he normally does. And he saw and he didn't mind the field grazing. He sees the value in it. He's probably going to still continue to enroll them. That's another way that still spreads the nutrients and helps,
I'd just say if you roll, if I do that too, I roll them out, try it at
Yeah.
a different place every time.
Yeah. That's a good.
Helps me seed the soil.
Yes, absolutely. Any other questions?
I do, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you get any support from the county commission?
Yes,
What
we
is
get it.
what is their support?
So they cover the office, the supplies, our travel, Tammy and Dee's salary, like all the utilities, all that stuff. And then they have a salary match too that they get in. We have to have the $25,000 to have our second agent, and Board of Ed gives us 11,500, and they match the rest of it.
That was our last year, 11,500. It's 1,000 more than I thought we had that.
We increased it last year. I can't remember right now, off the top of my head what it was, but our increase was, but it was
Okay.
increased.
What percent of your budget is that?
That's me the hard questions. I have to sit down and look it up.
Are you?
With the county commission covering the salaries of Tammy and Dee and the building and everything, it depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at us as the second agent salary match, it's 50% of it. That means a little less than 50% of it.
Okay, and this, you say, would go towards increasing whose salary?
It doesn't increase anybody's salary. So WVU pays mine and Liz's salary.
Okay, I thought.
It's
in what you
right.
said that you were.
Well,
it goes to a salary increase.
It does. That's why it gets complicated. You're right. You're right. So for WVU to put another agent in the county, they have a match that they want the county to match with them, and so that match goes to WVU, which I guess essentially it pays their salary, but it's a very long way around it.
And this is for the second agent.
Yes.
Because it used to be for the
That's what I was
Right.
thinking, we used to have three.
Correct.
That ever a possibility again?
Oh, we hope so. Yeah, we've talked about it. It's kind of a dream, but we've talked about it. To more detail.
And will the state pay for that?
They'd probably have to do another match. There's, there's hardly, I can't even think, but maybe one county. There might be a couple more that have 3 agents. And one of their ag agents is now half-time specialist for them to get that third agent to do that.
Some even share counties.
I did it here for when I first started. I was Hardy, New Hampshire.
It's
Don't
like
recommend
when
that.
they reorganize.
Yes, yeah.
I hate to use the word divorce, but that's almost like what it was.
Yeah.
They kind of divorced the 4-H program and the ag program, and
Yeah, we had a big
but
funding.
they
cut
take
there.
credit for it.
Oh, absolutely.
They take credit for it.
Definitely. It's been we merged last year with the Davis College, which is the ag college at WVU. So we're now one, and it's some long name, I can't remember what it's called now. But it's one big group now. And our dean, that was Extension Dean, is now also the dean of the ag school, which has been an interesting reorganization. But it wasn't a big change for the ag unit because we were already housed there as far as Morgantown goes, and we already kind of worked a lot with professors, but the families and health agents and the 4-H agents, it was a very big change for them.
Thank you, Megan.
I do, let me go grab it.
Beth's gonna tell us about student support service and testing updates.
Talk about, we're having upcoming special education monitoring, and that's the handout that I gave you, the first page, front and back, front is the introductory letters that we gave you. That tells us the days that we'll be here, starting March 2nd, I have an entrance interview. The back page of that is the actual sketch where they're gonna be visiting Norfolk Elementary School, or high school, and Norfolk Middle School that week. And the second page there, that you have front and back, are the different things that I'm compiling right now as part of the monitoring. There's part of it is a desk monitor where I have to upload IEPs and different documentation that goes with that. And then there are discipline reports I have to upload for any students with special needs that had discipline incidents in the last year. And then when they come to schools, they will, of course, observe in classrooms, and then they're going to we'll compare the documents that were uploaded to be sure that the service minutes and services and all of that are accurate in the children's IEPs. You can see that there's a pretty extensive list. They look at everything from alternate assessment, to regular assessment, to summary performance, which are that's what's filled out as the students graduate. Once they age out, they do a summary performance with their case manager. They review them to see what their post-secondary goals are, and follow it yearly to see if they're on track to meet those. There's also a parents focus survey that went out. That information is on the website and also the Facebook page, calling out to parents, and a text message. So we should get participation from that. If we don't have enough participation, I'm not sure how many parents, but the State Department will actually call parents of students with IEPs to ask them what their experience has been with the schools and with their services.
Does this year do that?
Every 4 years is the extensive one, and then yearly we do an annual desk audit. Usually I always review that too. Those are the usually the 1 page, the red and green areas. So this is just more extensive than that, different areas, and then they actually come to the county to visit classrooms. The second one there, see if there's anything that you have specific questions about. As for testing updates, we have the Golden Horseshoe essay test will be next week, and then the multiple choice test will be March 10th for our county. The ELPA testing has already started. Had several students already test with ELPA. And of course,
What is that test?
ELPA is the English language proficiency test for the EL students, for the English learners. There's a longer window for that because it's extensive with 4 different domains.
How many students do you have with IEPs now?
Right now, about 490.
Wow.
How about 504s?
Right now, about 70, I believe.
You said 70, 70,
Yeah.
and 490 for the IEPs.
When do the teachers have time to do all that paperwork?
The special education teachers with the IEPs and things.
Yeah.
They usually, most of them have some time built into their schedules in addition to their planning times.
I would hope so.
How many of those IEPs are for speech?
Probably 100.
Okay.
But we also have a lot of students that have speech as a related service on their IEP that aren't just speech only.
Okay.
How many of those with IEPs receive occupational therapy?
Around 40,
I noticed that intervals
yes.
pretty high.
When you talked about the golden horseshoe, how do they do that now? It used to be everyone took the one test. Does everyone do that?
Yes.
And then they took like the top so many percent, and the test was given every year.
No, now it's just one test,
It's just one test.
yes.
Okay.
So the essay portion is next week, and then the multiple choice test is
They have to
in
do an
March.
essay.
Yes,
That's just online, right?
yes.
How long has that been in place?
Several years, the essay part, I have to look. Probably, I'm not sure, 3-4 years probably.
Who judges the essays?
It goes to the state part.
They judge it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not judged.
I want to.
What's the, what do they do the essay on?
It just depends. I'll get the prompt next week, and then I have to send it directly to the schools. Of course, it's confidential. Everyone can look at it except the teachers, the day that they get it.
Okay, but they change it every year. So what was last year?
I don't remember exactly. A lot of times it's about a famous West Virginian or comparing to, or having the students tell about their favorite one and why.
Okay,
Things like
okay.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah, definitely should be things that we.
Yeah, you don't have to have prior knowledge. Yeah, okay.
Questions? And I'll give you an update after the monitoring. We'll get an extensive report that takes about 3 months for them to get back to us. But I'll have an exit interview that last day where they'll give us an idea of things that we need to work on or things that we're doing better.
Is there anything specific that you're going to prepare?
Right now, just gathering the things, and then I'm meeting with each principal just to review the information that they have. And then last year, I guess, monitored, so I have a list of the interview questions that I can share with them.
Thank you. Okay. If any of you all would like, one of these extension calendars, help yourself, they're wonderful. They tell you when to do everything. And then toward the back, it tells you, what the West Virginia soil, what, type of like a potato or green beans and stuff that they've had success with. So it's really a nice calendar. So, okay, public comments. Do we have any? Okay, we'll move on now to the consent items.
Motion approved. Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the consent items. All those in favor? Aye. So we're approved 5-0. Under unfinished business, we have the financial update, which is attachment 6. Sarah, do you want to help us with that?
Alright, I just need a expenditure by object for the month of January. I still feel that we're in pretty good situation compared to the prior year. The first set of numbers there under object 100 is all the salaries. We've encumbered the salaries except for substitutes and such, which there's no way to encumber those, they're unpredictable. Under the second category there is all of the benefits related to salaries, your insurance, social security, retirement. Below that is our outside services per se. The 400 is the utilities, repairs and maintenance. 500, the insurance outside of the health insurance, so like Brim and the other insurances that we carry, travel. 600 is the supplies, classroom supplies, technology, vehicles, and then the bus replacement equipment, all that below. We're still, I usually like to compare, like we've done in the past, the prior year to the current year. We've spent about $300,000 more this year to date. However, the prior year that's showing, we still had some of those COVID funds through September 30th, which we keep, talking about that. So some of the salaries had been over in the COVID funding that we had spent. We had also paid for our virtual online platform that year out of the COVID funding. So some of those expenditures would definitely make a difference as to where we stand this current year. But I can't think of anything that's really been out of the ordinary or been extremely significant as far as this year's concerned.
In Object 500, what is the tuition there? What is that?
That is the tuition that we did. Yeah, that's South Branch. Sorry, I was gonna say it's the tuition we did for our service personnel, but that would be like the payment to South Branch. And yeah, let's just do the tuition.
How many we still charge for their new instructors?
I have to pull it up specifically. It's all based, it changes based on the number of students that we have. From year to year, it changes based on the number of students we have versus the number of students Pendleton County has versus the number of students Grant has.
When did they, at one time, it was like a set number? Or be responsible for like 2 points? So I didn't realize it.
As far as I've known, it's fluctuate, all those expenditures
Because of
fluctuate
enrollment.
based on the total enrollment, and then they divide your percent out based on the number of students that you send and how long, if they're all longer than half the day or not. I can look at that, okay? Let me know.
Because I think at one time, wasn't
Just
it? Wasn't it a
let's see
set? It was a set.
I think it used to be years ago. Yeah.
Long time ago.
Back in my friendship with him.
Yeah, I can definitely pull those numbers and we can just look at how many students we have versus the other counties too. If you want to see that. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question. We were, of course, at that, CE thing this weekend in Morgantown, and we always come home with questions. I know we've talked about food service and that we always transfer at the end of the year to equalize that balance. But we count those people, we count them in our service personnel, and their salaries are in the service personnel up in Object 100.
No, you're not gonna see the salaries there, because these are only the salaries that are paid out of Fund 11, which is the general fund. So child nutrition is paid out of Fund 61. All of the funds that are, like if we get a grant fund that's regulated, it can only be spent on a certain thing, all of those funds are in Fund 61. So child nutrition operates out of Fund 61.
Okay.
So if you're just looking for total salaries, you're not gonna see that here. This is the general fund, which is just our excess funds. That makes sense?
Okay, well, what if Fund 61 doesn't have enough money to cover all that? Then that's when we have to
We
transfer.
pull it out of Fund 11. And if you look down below under the transfer in that large amount that we have budgeted there, the 1.7 million, a portion of that is assumed, was budgeted there to assume it will be covering child nutrition at the end of the year.
Yeah, because it was what, 500,000 we transferred last year?
I think it was like 690.
690.
It's a little under 600,000 for sure.
And is that for food also?
That's for any, you could say it's food, you could say it's salaries, I guess you could say it's whatever you want to say. It's just child nutrition doesn't bring in enough funds to pay all the expenditures, whether you want to say it pays for the food or the salary,
Sure.
But all of the child nutrition expenditures in there
Come out of Fund 61.
come out of Fund 61, and then we make a transfer from Fund 11 to cover it at the end of the year.
Just to balance it out, right?
Correct, but I do believe, I haven't looked at it closely lately, I did back when we did our budget retreat, but it seems to be doing a little bit better this year. I don't know particularly, we can take a deep dive into that again if you would like we did last year at one point, I believe. I looked at some of those numbers and really dug into it. I believe there's participation's up some, we're cutting some of the costs, I believe, getting through the different locations from some different places. So it seems to be overall doing better this year. And of course, that could change depending on participation, but
Sure.
at least during that period when I had looked at it somewhat, it was in better shape than it was prior year.
Okay, because, what my concern is that we know that's coming at the end of the year. But, I mean, that's a huge amount.
That's a huge amount, yeah, and I usually
And-
budget it based off of the prior year and bump it up a little bit, assuming the cost of everything increases all the time. You know, the cost of food seems to increase, so I usually kind of buffer a little bit, bump it up, and then budget it there as the amount that we'll have to cover, and then if it doesn't end up being that much, then that's good, but yeah, it's down under the budgeted amount for transfer.
Is the Moorfield cafeteria still getting food from Mr. Dent's greenhouse to help with the cost?
Now that part I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, the top of it blew off anyway, but not currently. There's not even a roof on it.
Oh, that's right, well, before the roof blew away, before the greenhouse blew away, were they still providing?
I'm honestly not sure about that. Emily would probably be able to answer that question. Do you have anything else?
I think I have another question then, because on these invoices that we have today, there was a considerable charge for natural gas from Moorfield High School. And we were told before that that was keeping the greenhouse heated. So if the greenhouse is gone, what are we paying that natural gas bill?
The school's heated room that we go to. There's a gas on time. It eats a lot of.
Oh, okay, I just, clicked in my brain here.
Yeah, it's the only one, I think, that's heated with natural gas.
No.
Elementary school is too.
Who is the-
Elementary.
Elementary, okay, because I guess the
Yeah.
transmission line.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like she wants
Who
to-
is?
On the greenhouse itself, when the roof had come off, they shut everything off there, but it was on an automatic fill that was being paid through that department specifically, so anything that was going into the greenhouse was being used, because we had food in there, and then they shut it off when the top came off on that end, so you shouldn't, it's just automatic fill now.
Okay.
Okay. So, that's financial updates. Next up is approval of dual college credit policy attachment 7.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to approve this. This went out for first reading last time. So this is the approval of Hardy County File ICI. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And it's approved 5-0.
I think it's a good deal.
Okay, move on to new business. First thing is approval of the surplus vehicle sealed bids, attachment 8. We have the Ram 2500 pickup. It's a 2005. And it looks like the The highest bidder was $850 for that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the $850 bid by Don Van Meter. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's approved. Next is the approval of the Moorfield Elementary School sealed bids. We have our bids in on it. We asked for samples of that flooring, and we've never received them.
We received a pile that we shared way back before it went out for the, when we speculated those. And then we were going to get samples to show you once this company was selected. We'll get you updated current samples of the actual pieces going in.
But we don't know what to choose. I mean,
I think
Yeah,
Josh
what's
did
the deal?
request, I think he did contact that company. when
yeah,
they
but I don't
wanted
think
it.
we got them.
I'm not sure they did, because it was right after they.
Yeah,
wanted
because
it.
we asked for them quite a bit ago, and it looks like that the difference, I know a couple millimeters, that the one is 7 millimeters, the one 7.8, and the other one is 8 millimeters, and there's like a $27,000 difference between the lowest and the highest.
Did you understand from this which one we were getting?
All we have to decide.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't think that had been decided.
I have a couple questions, so I don't know if you want to make a motion before we.
Sure. I move to approve the Kiefer USA proposal for the Moorfield multi-purpose area. This says Moorfield High School, but it's elementary school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
I have questions. We got to discuss it.
Oh,
inside.
I'm sorry. Yeah, discussion.
One question I had on the bid, it says that the cement has to be tested by a third party before they will install the floor. Do we know the cost of that, or?
So we talked to Dana from the SBA about that, because that was one of the concerns that Josh had as well, so we called. He said we came in well enough below budget, that whatever that testing is going to cost, we would have more than enough money through SBA funds to cover it. So I can't tell you what that estimate would be, but Dana seemed to think, based on the folks they've used before, it wasn't gonna be anything we couldn't cover under the budgeted money that came through with the grant.
Now, who's Dana?
Dana, I'm gonna butcher his last name, but he works, in one of the architects Joyce that worked through the school building authority.
Okay.
Do you know who may be doing that testing?
I don't know who would be doing the testing now, but I know that they discussed that there were different folks that were in the state that do that.
What's the timeline on how long will it take, Dr. Van Meter? How long will it take then?
The whole project seemed like it was going to be pretty quick, so I don't believe it's anything that's an unreasonable amount of time. I would say it could happen pretty quickly.
Because it doesn't, Mr. Harper said it doesn't say in there.
No, it doesn't say.
Well, it does say with the concrete that it has to, you can't have more than 1/8 of an inch deviation within a 10-foot radius. I mean, it's got to be flat. I remember talking about that, and they were saying that concrete floor is not flat. So have you heard differently?
No, I knew that once it was tested, that the company that would put the flooring down put some kind of a leveling stuff on it. And when Dana had come in and looked at it with, when he visited, he said that he felt like it would be something that they could easily do. And it was price-wise something we could handle. That's all I know about the subject. I apologize, and I don't have, time to go through it.
In other words, if the
That's just
floor's
me.
not flat, the flooring is going to,
Yeah, but if they put leveling, probably epoxy, it helps level above the concrete. So that should be said.
low places.
They'll level it and seal it before the flooring would go down. That has to be done before they can put the flooring down. Yeah.
Right. My concern is, I mean, in the big scheme of things, 92 to 119 is not that much money, but it is. And I just don't feel like we have in front of us the knowledge of which option to pick.
Yeah,
Well, me too.
I agree.
And as much as I'd like to see this project done, it's been drug out for years.
Then it happens.
But I just still think, we need to have a little more information, whether there's samples of option 1, 2, and 3, or at least a little more. Maybe it's in here and I haven't read it, but I don't see it.
I don't think,
Yeah.
I read it.
And that's what I recommend, would be just table it, and we can get you all of those things and take it up at the next meeting. I know that the samples were requested for this specific quote. I'm assuming they're the same as the ones that I had back in my office, but we'll make sure we have the right samples, and we'll make sure that you have all the questions answered. We can even get the representatives, I'm sure, to come to a meeting and answer questions, as well.
That's what I would like. I move to table this motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to table this motion until we can obtain further information. All those in favor?
Aye.
So it's tabled 5-0. We just don't want to end up having to pay, I mean, my gut would be to go in the middle, not the cheapest and not the best, but in the middle. But I want to see that middle, and feel it, so. Okay, next thing up is the East Hardy Elementary School elevator sealed bids. And it looks like that we have one, and it's for,
Have to do a motion.
yeah, I'm sorry. I have a motion and a second.
So
So
moved.
we can discuss it.
So moved.
Okay, all those in favor?
Questions, yeah.
Well, I thought we just, okay.
Well, my concern there, the amount of money, there's no scope of work, there's saying what they're gonna do, what's gonna be replaced in the elevator or anything. I don't see anything.
And if I may speak to this as well, I wanted to bring this up, as this came up, is that Ms. Robinson had provided me a copy of some of the, essentially what would amount to the contract with them. And there was some concerning language in there. So I did reach out to the representative for Shenandoah Elevator, trying to schedule a meeting with him. Unfortunately, I had not had an opportunity to discuss this in depth with Dr. Van Meter before the meeting tonight, but just some questions looking at it from the contractual side that I think would be beneficial to get answered before going forward on this too. So it would be my recommendation. My recommendation is for you all to table that until those answers can be provided because of the concerns from the legal side and reviewing of that contract.
A motion is second to table this. All those in favor of tabling until we get further information? And it's tabled 5-0. We're just being hard to get along with, Sheena.
Exactly what you should be doing.
Okay, next up, board members and superintendent discussion. no action may be taken. Are you doing that for us, Lauren, or is Sheena? Or?
I would defer to Dr. Van Meter on that.
So, I don't know if you guys can all see me. I'm in a parking lot in a McDonald's facing a gas station that is a block away from the Capitol. You see the blue lights flashing in my glass? It's quite interesting, me sitting here watching the people come up to my car and trying to ignore them. I just have a few things. So today, spent the last several hours at the Capitol in the House Education Committee meeting, which happened this afternoon. We were really excited to bring down Julie Barb and Dr. C, and Julie teaches civics at Moorfield High School. And I contacted her at the end of last week and asked her if she could get 5 students rounded up to just bring to Charleston to sit in on that committee meeting, because I think when you're talking about education bills and things that need to happen in schools, it gives a great perspective, and we can look at kids while you're doing it. So that went over really well. That was a positive thing. Excellent. So one of the things that I just wanted to mention from that is a couple of bills that I'd like for you to just keep your eye on. The first one is the first legitimate school aid funding formula bill, which is House Bill 5453. And we had good discussions about that. It's a base funding of $8,000 per student, with then your local share added on top of that. And that was clarified there. I know that's one of the things we've been talking about all day. But that ended up being a really good, positive thing for us. And then there's an additional amount of money that'll go for special ed students that are a level 2 or level 3. So that's one we're following. It's under amendment in the House Education Committee. House Bill 5012 is a bill that looks at personnel, and currently there's language in state code that tells you that you can't move a person, even if the need arises, you can't move an individual that's employed in a school district from one school to another after the end of the 2nd month. So if we had a self-contained student come in special ed and they were at Moorfield High School and we hired a teacher and aide for them, and then they moved to East Hardy High School, if it was after the 2nd month of school, we wouldn't be able to move and that aide that's hired just for that student to East Hardy High School. We'd have to hire another teacher and another aide. And that's been in code. So that's a bill that we have been pushing through that looks like it may get some amendments made to it. Dale Lee was there representing WBEA. He wasn't a huge fan of it, but I think they're going to be able to work something out. And then House Bill 5089, which was just looking at transcripts that are coming in, from Hope Scholarship, homeschool, private school, and being able to have a way to verify credits earned either through some type of an assessment or some way that they're proving that, if somebody leaves Moorfield High School or East Hardy High School their junior year and over the summer says they took trig and calculus and physics and got A's in all of them and then comes back in to start their senior year with those credits earned, a way to verify that that really happened and that those students earned that grade. So that also was a positive discussion. Current state code prohibits us from questioning anything that's provided on a transcript, no matter how it's provided. So that would help us be able to verify some of that, just to give quality to the course transcripts that are coming in that we then have to transfer over to Hardy County School transcripts. And we need to, that was kind of the gist of the things that happened today in House Ed. Dates for walkthroughs, if you could just let Sean know while she's sitting there, any dates that do not work for you for school walkthroughs in the next month, we need to get those scheduled. It would just be 3 days. We usually do a canvas a day, a morning and afternoon, I believe. So just let Sean know if there are dates that do not work, and I'll try to get them scheduled. And I wanted to just touch base, as you guys know, I had the privilege of attending national conference last week, and it was really great. So thank you for having that in my contract and supporting that. That was a good experience. And one of the things that I was able to sit through was a session on a way that there's a system, it's called audio enhancement, and it was originally designed as a microphone that a teacher would wear in a classroom. Speakers are mounted up in the corners of the room. It was originally designed for students that are hard of hearing to help enhance the sound in the classroom. But they have a brand new system that's actually for EL students. And those students would wear headsets, and everything that the teacher says was translated in the student's language. They have over 200 languages directly to that headset. And then a student can ask a question into their device, and it's read in English for everybody else to understand over the speakers. So the schools that were talking about that said it was a game changer. They just saw their kids open up, kids were able to participate. And so this company has agreed to give us a couple of free for the remainder of the year. They're going to let us pilot it in two classrooms, a building on the Moorfield side for the remainder of the year. So I'm really excited about that. I just wanted to share that. And another interesting thing that I learned about was that this is happening in West Virginia. Personal pan pizzas, because you were talking about lunch and numbers, but there's a company that brings in and installs these little pizza ovens in cafeterias. They bring everything in, they send you the pizza crust, and you basically make these personal pan pizzas and you offer it all day at lunch. So you know how if you go into a 7-Eleven, you'll see like the warmer and you'll have these little pizzas you can just go up and grab. It's an option that meets all the child nutrition guidelines that we can bill for, and they say when kitchens install them, participation numbers go through the roof, and they guarantee you that your numbers will go through the roof or you don't pay for anything. So I don't have any cost analysis on that yet, but I just thought it was a really interesting idea, and something that some other West Virginia counties are piloting, so might be something that we look into because we know our kids love pizza. And otherwise, that's really all I had to update you on for mine.
I handed out the calendar.
Yeah, calendar. And Sean was gonna hand those out. Did we get the one from Grant?
Yes.
Yes.
It's small, but we did get it.
Is that what this one is?
What that looks like.
They're all small and hard to read, but Grant County's is by far the smallest and hardest to read. So, anyway, I went through them. Sean gave them to me today. I went through them and trying to read and debrief. There's one that's like an MMS-MIS put together calendar, an MHS-MIS calendar, an East Hardy's site camp calendar, and then we have the Grant County calendar.
That was MHS-MES.
MHS, oh, I have it wrong on this little paper. MHS-MES, option 2, change the I to an E, please. I thought I was doing a great thing having it written for you instead of me just telling you.
An I to an E is not a big deal.
Okay, so I just went through them and looked at like when staff would start and when students, dates for staff, dates for students, so that you could see personnel dates for the, you see on the MMS, MIS, all the way down, staff student dates. All the calendars from the Hardy County put together ones had the following in common. They had 5 days prior to students starting at the front. They had 4 OS days during the spring break. They had 2 OS days at the end of school. They all had Thanksgiving, Christmas, and spring breaks. And they all put their faculty summit and professional learning days built in at different time periods. If you look at the Grant County one, their dates are there for staff. For students, I couldn't really understand it. So I put the last date for students is 5/28, but it says on the word part that it's end of the term is 6/2, but the last date I saw for kids being in school would be 5/28, so that's why the 6/2 is in parentheses on that part. And what stood out to me is, I mean, all of the Thanksgiving, Christmas, and spring breaks were the same between among all 4 calendars. But the OS days are different, sort of. The OS days, they have 4 at spring break, they have 1 OS day at the end of the school year, and 1 OS day put in January 29th. And that was just breaking it down and looking at similarities and differences in a quick note. Because those are the things most people look at. Start date, end date, staff, students, when are the breaks, and one of the days scattered in. That's what I saw. I see the blue light splashing on me now more. The dust coming in.
I think I'm actually I'm gonna still listen, but I'm gonna start driving and turn my camera off here to get myself in a safe situation.
So that was just an overview of the calendars, looking down quickly here today. And spelling it out because they're hard to see. They're not in an easy to read format for people with bifocals. Or regular
Oh,
eyes.
even regular planning.
Well, it seems like that one that's closest to Grant County, I think would be the best. It's, I know they want different calendars, and we had quite a different calendar this year with probably not such good results because the students went for the first couple of days and then they didn't go.
They didn't go today.
And that's, they realized that we didn't have any punch to it if they didn't show up, and so they just didn't go, and so they missed out on a lot of well, they told us when we were at the VOTEC Center that's when they went over all the safety precautions, and that they had to have all that done and signed off because of insurance and all that safety stuff. And so I guess they had to repeat that.
So how many days difference is between Grant and Hardy? Because last year was like 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Long.
Did not work.
Well,
It's good, 3 or 4 days.
they're gonna start the 21st. And our students would start on the 20th, so that's just one day. That one that's at the top, and then on the other one, it's 4 days.
Mr. Huns asked where's Pendleton. I called this one Grant because I don't know if the one that we got has been like approved already by Granted. Pendleton,
I
Josh
don't
would know
know.
this stuff. I'm just doing my best looking at them today and giving you the highlights
Grant's
that
the
people
one
look
they
at.
asked for, but I don't know if they've approved
And normally
theirs yet or
Grant and
not.
Pendleton are together and the same, so I'm assuming this could be Pendleton's too, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, they would be the same.
Okay.
Those two are.
I don't know if they.
You're not sure if this is
I
one
don't
that's
know
been
if they've
approved yet.
approved it,
I don't think it's been approved yet.
but this
so.
was what they provided, so. And
I think that's Grant's proposed
Right.
calendar, but I don't know if it's been.
Well, maybe we need to wait.
well, I assume it's gonna be vote, I mean, Josh would know when the vote's going and all that stuff. I don't know. Correct.
So it's not.
Yes.
He sent those to me because he said that you all to ask to review them.
Right.
Before we voted.
But I think as close as we can get where the calendars blend, the better off we are.
Last year was September.
Yeah, it was. And that's the first time that we've done the same calendar. And I hate it that Grant County hasn't been, hasn't wavered at all. If it would be a couple things that were special to us or to Pendleton County, I think that there needs to be a compromise. And just because it's there doesn't mean that they, get to chisel the rock.
And someone probably wants to look over these dates. This was Jennifer and Pam looked over them today. We might have missed and put something wrong, but that's what we pulled from them. And those are the things that people look at. When did the kids start? When does the staff start? When do they end? And when are the breaks? And where are the OS days?
Does anybody have anything else?
I'll just add, in the end, you guys get to approve the calendar anyway, so, if it comes back, whatever comes back to you guys, you can vote no, we can bring you, I think, a different calendar in the end, so wouldn't stress too much about that part.
Sure.
We're looking at the walkthroughs. Mark?
She said next month.
Yeah, usually.
And it'll be 3 different days. We usually meet at, 8 o'clock in the morning and finish by noon or 11. We'll do each campus.
Could you consider, instead of putting that 3 days for it and see, and 3 schools each time, since we did cut off? Possibility?
No, this is driving.
Well, you could do more with elementary school and get party school, however.
It pushes you on time, I think, spending in the building too. If we only
What?
do- Pushes in time on spending in the building if you only do 2 days also, you know.
Yeah.
And also we want to do eaches, I believe, this year.
Preschool.
Yeah. And, we need, an agenda of what we want to do with the walkthrough. Remember last year, they, had us they divided us up and had us sit through classes, for a certain period of time and, rather than just walking and seeing everybody in the classroom and totally disrupting things. What's your all's opinion?
I personally like being on my own, going to the classroom, seeing it, what was going on, sitting it for a little while, answering, asking the kids some questions, and then moving on to another room by myself and not as part of the game. I think the teachers are more comfortable. I think the kids are more comfortable.
You're doing multiple interruptions and as much school as we missed, again, I'll go back to that. As much school we missed this year and stuff. I don't know, I think you're better off, it is a group, I know.
Well, you guys go as a group and I'll go on my own and I'm fine with that. I have no problem.
But you're still gonna be interrupting classes.
Yeah, I think we all need to agree and not just, head out. I hear what you're saying and
I got a lot more out of it last year by just being on my own and watching the kids and, walking and seeing what the kids were doing and helping them if they needed a little bit of help. And
I think what we did last year was the principals, made a schedule for each of you. Isn't that right? And you
Yes.
you all
they basically told us where they wanted us to go, but I didn't follow.
And I think the benefit in that was you didn't have like one person going into a room and then leaving, and then somebody else going into the same room and then leaving, and then that didn't happen, 5 times with 5 different people going into the same room. Everybody kind of got a different feel. I think it's how we did it last year.
Well, the principals may tell us again how they want us to do it. I don't know. I just feel all of us going in there as a group and standing and smiling and looking goofy. It's just not effective.
Well, I think last year we did like go two together, but then we would branch off and go to a separate room wherever we want to be.
Right.
They kind of gave us the guidance, but I went where I wanted to go last year. If there was a class I wanted to visit, I went and visited.
I followed the rules.
I didn't.
Well,
I went where they asked me to go. I didn't even think about breaking out on my own. But, whatever.
some of us have to just be one.
Born to be wild, aren't you?
Sure.
Well,
You can tell just by looking at me.
Well, I think the important thing now is we'll work all this out, but we need to look at the dates. And it looks, what's the majority? Do
Well, what-
we want-
I just need
Just
to
to
know
save
the
time, why don't we
ones.
do that after the meeting? And I'll just kind of hash that out, what
Okay.
days you want to do or
I think
can't do.
you can't do. I just need the days that you can't do.
We can't do?
Yes.
I can do the 5th or the 23rd.
You
I
can't.
do the 23rd, I get time. Your new CT's getting moving.
No 5th and no 23rd. Anybody else have any no-nos?
I cannot do, March 12th. That's unless I see it more for the elementary.
Are we gonna be done by lunchtime, is that what we're planning, because on 16th, I have to meet with my tax person, do a tax.
Probably not. She'll probably do
Yeah.
one in the morning, one in the afternoon, I think.
So the
that's what it is.
16th, I can't meet.
16.
So no 16. Because last year, I thought we got done about 11.
It may be.
Most
I'm
times
not
we did, we
sure.
were done
Yeah.
before
I'll
lunch.
just put on there
Yeah, because we
afternoon.
didn't eat lunch anywhere. We were done before lunch.
Okay.
So, any dates for you? I'm retired.
Mhm.
It used to be a problem,
I
and I
work, but I can make it
understand you
work, so.
folks that
Yeah.
are still
That's what I'm
working.
here for. So.
Okay, so we have those 4 dates, no 5th, no 23rd, no 12th, and no 16th, unless Doug can be done before. I can't have no talk to your 16, you don't do it. Are you in theaters?
Earlier in March, or six months.
Earlier. Okay.
Okay, they'll work on that. Under announcements, anybody else have anything for
I
future?
do, actually. We discussed policy 8200 somewhat. I'd like to put that on the agenda and look over next meeting. We may want to make a couple policy changes in that.
Okay, that's over the amounts and
Right.
stuff, wasn't it? Okay. Could you make sure that we have a copy of that policy in, with our papers for
Do you want
next time?
WVDE policy 8200, or do you want our county policy that goes with that? Or
Both of them. We
Both.
We need both.
See,
That's all I
it's just
had.
dangerous to send us to those seminars. So, let's see. So anybody else have anything they'd like to have on the agenda? Janet, Roy? Okay. So we'll move on, announcements. Our next meeting is March 2nd at 5 PM here at the board office. So, now we move to mission statements and accomplishments.
I was impressed with the students, the way they dressed, and all the highly professional, and several of them spoke very well.
Yeah, I agree. They did, didn't they?
Mrs. Slack does an awesome job with her students and with her program. And I say it again, we will miss her. We will miss that lady. Since she's retired. I also think that state conference discussion then was very informative. I came away with some knowledge and some appreciation for what we do.
Mhm. It was good. You know,
Not too much talk about the trying to regionalize school boards.
I didn't hear it.
no, they
That
didn't,
was
they
nothing.
didn't talk about that at all.
Has that been brought up in the legislature?
Yes.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, yeah, but it's the same region that we've been in, I guess, for those,
Right, it'd be the
The
same.
same as recent.
RISA.
Whatever it's called now.
Epic now
yeah.
was RISA, but we're
There
the
would be
same
in lead 5 board members from like
thing.
X number of counties, right?
5 counties. Is it 4 or 5?
I think it
5.
was Jefferson, Morgan, Berkeley, us and.
We're in the
No.
No,
It was
no,
Hampshire and
Hampshire, Mineral,
Party,
Hamilton,
Mineral,
Hardy,
Hamilton.
Yeah, they're,
and
they're,
Hampshire.
Yeah, Morgan and Berkeley. and Jefferson.
They're all
unaffected.
together. Yeah.
Even though our headquarters was down there.
Mhm.
Our headquarters was in, Martinsburg.
Yeah, we own part of that building.
Because of
You
the
all know
planning
that.
I did not know that.
Oh my, yes, we own part of that building and we must never forget that. The building in Martinsburg, we own, I guess it's a fifth of it.
No, it has to be.
Or no, it wouldn't be a fifth because more counties than that. That was part of the thing, but yes, we do. They might, some of us oldsters, might not be around, but you all need to remember that we do own part of that. Yeah, because,
Is there a deed on file somewhere?
I'm sure
Makes that
there
legal?
probably is. Because the fella that was the head of the thing then, he came here, he would come and do a talk every year about how Risa was doing and
Charles Duffy.
yes. And, Mr. Duffy, was here and was telling that they had been saving money to, buy a building. Where they were, remember where the factory outlet was? Well, they were in the basement of the building there. And I asked him how they saved the money and then where they got the money. And what they were doing was withholding from programs that we had and saving money for them to have a building. And, I pointed out to Dr. Duffy that I really didn't think that was legal. I mean, I know you can charge administrative fees and stuff like that, but to buy a building? So.
Well, you are telling your age.
I know. It's pitiful, isn't it? But anyway, he said, well, if you had to work where we work, you would have done the same thing. Well, I told him I didn't know that.
Well, apparently it was never challenged.
Well, I mean, and maybe it was perfectly legal, but I just thought, gee willikers, with the amount of money, and I can't remember the exact figure, but it was between $100,000 and $200,000 at that time. And I mean, that could have been a lot of program, for students that they didn't get. Yeah. So, okay. So, we'll move on now to personnel.
Yes, ma'am. You all will notice, and I apologize for being a little bit more pages, but as we get guidance on various things, we implement change. And thanks to Ms. Cullors and some knowledge that she gained at her meeting last week, is that it looks a little bit different. So apologize for that, but we do got to comply with our obligations here. So you will notice a new blurb there at the top in the parentheses, at the top third of the page, that note that the positions which do not have a candidate listed are either due to lack of applicants, recommended applicants not yet met all posted position requirements, or no recommendation is received at the publishing of the agenda. So that's just a little bit of change there. But with all that being said, would recommend the approval of the following service personnel hiring: Joshua Ritchie as a substitute bus operator, countywide, effective for the 25-26 school year. Shelley Wilkins, substitute secretary, countywide, effective for the 25-26 school year. Lisa Walker as a bus operator for the 21st CCLC after school program for East Hardy Elementary School, effective for the 25-26 school year only. Then moving down to recommended approval of personnel, professional personnel, extracurricular hiring. Number 25, Jamin Hirschberger as math field day advisor, countywide, effective for the 25-26 school year only. Megan Dispinet math field day advisor for East Hardy Elementary School, effective for the 25-26 school year only. Then recommended approval of the 3-step salary increase. Amanda Whitaker, special education teacher at East Hardy High School, effective February 11th, 2026 for the remainder of the 25-26 school year only. Down to recommended approval of athletic hirings. Andrew Kincaid is the assistant football coach for Moorfield High School, effective for the 2026-2027 school year. Tyrone Haynes, authorized certified coach without pay for baseball at Moorfield High School, effective for the 25-26 school year. And then to the last page, the recommended approval of resignations. Crystal Kreitz is a teacher for the 21st CCLC after-school program at MES, effective February 12th, 2026. Bridget Sions, coach for softball at Moorfield High School, effective February 4th, 2026. Ashley Kreitz, assistant football coach at Moorfield High School, effective February 4th, 2026. Ashley Seitz, autism mentor / aide, special education itinerant at Moorfield Intermediate School, effective February 10th, 2026. Tammy Gilbert, math teacher, grades 6 through 8 at Moorfield Middle School, effective June 30th, 2026, due to retirement. Daryl Luttrell, bus operator countywide, effective February 11th, 2026. Joshua Ritchie, bus operator countywide, effective March 27th, 2026. Jackie Cullors is an ECAT aide for kindergarten at Moorfield Elementary School, effective June 30th, 2026, due to retirement.
Move to approve the recommended personnel action.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the recommended personnel actions. These have been recommended by the superintendent. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And they're approved by that.
I would like to go into executive session to discuss a invoice that was paid.
Motion to go into executive. You make the motion, or you make the motion?
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Did you see this that was in our, I don't think.
Yeah, it was not on there. So it not being on there couldn't I saw it in the packet.
Your mother's daughter.
It's not very nice.
Oh, it was for us.
Like
Which-
78.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Bluebird.
Ready.
What was it, did you say? 78.
We're ready. It's not very nice.
Okay, so did we have a motion to go out of executive session?
Motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Have a motion, a second to come out of executive session with no action taken.
You vote, you vote.
So somebody want to make a motion?
Now we got
to-
all.
Got to vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Somebody want
I move we adjourn.
Second.
God bless you.
Second.
See you, people.
Bye.
I didn't mean to be.
I'm just going. Wait.
No, no.
Wait.
So basically, what I'm